Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you joined me today on the How to Boost Your Business with Podcasting Class. This is Lisa Stoops, host of the Secrets to Her Success podcast. And really, I'm truly excited that whether you're live or you're listening to the replay, that you took the time to listen today. So you're in the right place if you want to learn more about how podcasting can get you more exposure, more credibility, and help you work smarter. That sounds awesome, right? Definitely, we all want more exposure, more credibility, and we all want to work smarter in our business. So what you're going to learn on today's call is what successful entrepreneurs do on a regular basis, and this is super key to success, and also 4 major ways podcasting can boost your business. And finally, I'm going to show you how you can learn more and you can work with me so that you can boost your business with a podcast in the next 60 days or less. So hopefully you're excited about this information. I'm really excited to share it with you. So let me start off by just giving you a little bit of background with my experience in podcasting. So like you, I'm sure you've known about podcasting for a long time. It's definitely not new by any means, but it's hugely, I feel anyway, underrated as a medium that can get your content out to the masses. Now, I've known about podcasting for a long time, right? So why haven't I jumped on it before? Well, I don't think I really understood the power of podcasting and its ability to get your content out there. And I'll talk about more about that in a little while. But at the end of December, I made a declaration. I said I was going to interview 100 women entrepreneurs in the next 90 days. And that idea sort of morphed into having a podcast show where I interview amazing women entrepreneurs. Once I decided I was going to podcast, though, I learned everything I needed to know, and I got it all set up and launched within a month. I mean, I really didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how to set it up. I didn't know anything. And within a week or so, I was listed in the top 40, even the top 10, depending on the category, of the new and noteworthy sections of iTunes in my main 2 categories. So, and the coolest thing is that while you fluctuate between, the top, you can top 10, well, at least me, I have fluctuated between the top 10 and top 50 of the new and noteworthy sections. Some people don't even get in the top 100. So that's really, and actually I should say most people, because I think that there's 100 on the podcast page for new and noteworthy when you open it up. And while you bounce around today, I just checked, and I was in the top 20 of the business new and noteworthy. So, and it fluctuates up and down, but the higher you are in there, the more exposure you're going to get to your podcast. So that's really cool. But the coolest part about podcasting for me so far is that I have met a ton of new people, and I've established relationships so far with people that I would have never even talked to or even really come across if I wasn't podcasting. So I've also been able to establish some joint ventures, and this is really key to business success as well. So I've been able to work with other people, and I have things lined up for over the next few months too with other people, so that's really cool. It's also increased traffic to my website. Now, my website was new. The Secrets to Her Success website was new. Tons of people have come, to the website, and I've also gotten new clients, which I do business coaching, but I don't even advertise it, so I've gotten new clients straight from meeting people and interviewing people and getting recommendations from people and things like that. So it's been really cool. So podcasting has given my business a huge boost. It's actually given me more than a boost in that I am so much more focused than I've ever been before. And now I want to talk about how it can boost your business as well. And it doesn't even matter if you're just starting out in business or if you've been in business for a long time. I really feel that podcasting can help you boost your business. But first, I want to do a little exercise. Let's just close your eyes. Just close your eyes and think about the most successful entrepreneur you know. you trust them, they have a good-sized following, they seem to be everywhere you look, you know they're making good money, and you might be a little envious. Okay, so your eyes are closed, you're thinking about that person. Now, what do they have, and what have they done to get to this point? I mean, really think about what have they done to get to this point. And it's really simple if you think about it. They were seen and heard. That is basically it. That is what they might have over you or someone else that you feel is not at that level yet. But you watched a video, a webinar. You saw them live. You listened to their podcast, their CD, or their teleseminar. You saw them or you heard them. So this is talking about video and audio. Those two things helped you, really helped them seem to be everywhere, and they are successful because of that. Now, out of all the ways to be seen and heard, what do you think is the easiest and least time-consuming to do? And yes, of course, it's podcasting. I do video as well, but I can tell you that it is so much easier, and one of the reasons why I love podcasting is that all you have to do is simply record your voice or get somebody on Skype and record the call. It's so easy compared to video, where you have to, get all dialed up. You have to find a place, you don't with video, you don't have, or with podcasting, you don't have to create slides. You don't have to learn webinar technology. I mean, you don't have to get all dressed up, find the right spot, or even, create any type of a live event, which is really difficult to do anyway. All you have to do is record your voice or conversation, as I said. And, I mean, how easy is that? Do you think you can do that? Yes, totally. This is why I've chosen this vehicle, because I can be consistent with it. This is, podcasting might not be for everyone, but I'm going to show you how simple and easy it is, or I'm going to tell you how simple and easy it is compared to other mediums out there, other vehicles to get seen and heard. Plus, what is easier to consume on the go for your listeners? This is key because your audience is so important, right? So what is easier for your audience to consume on the go? Video or audio? Audio, hands down. People can listen while they're exercising, grocery shopping, cleaning, or even while they're driving in the car. And I actually have a ton of podcasts that I listen to while I'm cleaning, especially, and it really helps me get that cleaning done, and I can actually, listen to some of the things that, that really build me up in the business aspect too. So let me just talk a little bit about who is podcasting for. Now, I never really thought that podcasting was for me because I didn't really understand how powerful it is for business. I used to think that podcasting was only for established businesses or news media or something like that. But what I learned was that podcasting is for anyone who has something to say. It's especially awesome for solo entrepreneurs, solopreneurs who have a passion for what they do. And I would even say that podcasting is awesome for affiliate marketers as well, and a way to really stand out from the crowd of affiliate marketers as well. So entrepreneurs like Pat Flynn and Amy Porterfield, Allie Brown, and Lewis Howes, and many, many more, all have podcasts because they know how powerful they are in business and how podcasts have really helped them in their business. So why are they so powerful? Well, let's take a look at them. 4 major benefits even new podcasters can partake of. Because I'm not even going to go over how you can one of the benefits of podcasting is that you can make great money providing sponsorships and advertisement on your podcast. But when you're just starting out as a new podcaster, it's definitely not an option for new podcasters unless you already have a huge audience that's already going to subscribe, and you're going to get at least 2,000 downloads a day. that is when you start looking for sponsorship, and you can make a ton of money doing that, which one podcaster, Entrepreneur on Fire, makes somewhere around $40,000 a month through sponsorships only, and that's not even including his own products and services and things like that. So, or maybe it's like $30,000, somewhere around there. There's potential in the future to make great money through podcasting, but some of the benefits that I'm going to talk about right now are things that new podcasters can benefit from. And just know that in the future, you could build your audience up and your downloads up enough to get sponsorships. And I think that usually can happen if you're consistent around the 6-month mark. So, and that'll be something that I'll be doing in the future, and also will share with people as well. But the number one benefit, well, these aren't really necessarily in order, but one benefit is exposure. Have you ever wondered how to get more exposure or more visibility in your business? I mean, if you could just be more visible, right, you'd be able to do X, Y, or Z. So, yes, we are all wanting more exposure. Podcasting can help you by increasing your reach, clearly giving you more exposure than you would have had. And you're going to be able to reach new people through iTunes and Stitcher Radio, which is critical to your business success. If you're always hanging around the same circles, if you're always coming in contact with the same people, you're really not going to grow your audience as you should. So when you add on a new component like podcasting, where you're able to reach millions of people through iTunes, then you're going to increase your exposure, definitely. And there are strategies that you can put into place, too, to help you get more people to share your podcast, which would then again give you more exposure. You can offer rewards like gift cards and things like that to your subscribers and your listeners and things like that to help you get more exposure. One of the components of getting more exposure is to make sure that your show is good enough so that people stick to it. You know, people continue to come back and download new episodes. So the more people you have being exposed to your podcast, downloading your episodes, and then recommending your podcast to other people, then you're going to get, double the exposure right there, not including what exposure you'll get through iTunes and Stitcher Radio and places like that where people actually go to find podcasts to listen to or audio to listen to. So that's one of the biggest benefits, is that you can get that exposure that you're looking for. And the thing about it is that it's not going to happen overnight. I mean, it's going to happen as you continue to be consistent and produce great content on your podcast show. So number 2 is going to be credibility and creating a real bond with your audience. And this is so, so important. I mean, more than anything, when people get to hear what you sound like and hear like what you have to say and how you're so passionate about something, and they can hear in your voice that you know what you're talking about, you really have a passion for what you're talking about, you really want to help people, they're going to hear those through your voice, and that is going to in turn translate into them trusting you and establishing your credibility in their eyes. And all that matters is that your listeners, your audience, people who want to be around you and around your business and things like that, they are the ones that are most important. And this, having a podcast can really create that bond with your audience. I mean, if you think about it, business owner A only communicates in text, right? And then you have business owner B who communicates in text and audio. I know personally I'm going to get more of a feel for the business owner B because I can hear that person. I can sense that they're authentic. I can sense that, they know what they're talking about and that they really care, all through the voice. And I will most likely do business with them. You can reach people in a deeper way when you are talking to them, when you are sharing your thoughts and your opinions and, just whatever your business is about and whatever your goal and your missions are. When you share something with someone through your words, it's just something about it. It's funny because you have kind of like a captive audience. You are speaking to many people, but at the same time, you're speaking to that one person, or at least that's how it seems, because they're only listening to you, but you're speaking to a whole bunch of people. So it's kind of, it's very intimate. Creating a bond with your audience happens regularly because your content, like I was saying, on your show is typically geared to just one person. I mean, even though you're speaking to many people, you are speaking to one person. So, and with a podcast, you could be speaking to that person or many people for an hour, for 30 minutes, for 20 minutes. And a lot of times, when you do video and things like that, which I love video, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do video, but when you do videos, a lot of times, you're trying to make it quick and short and to the point, because people are kind of used to that. They're going to tune out or whatever after a couple minutes. So you want to make your video really, to the point, short, sweet, and nice. But with podcasting, it's known that you're going to listen longer. It's known that you're going to listen for 20, 30, even an hour or more with a podcast. So you have your audience attention, like captive attention. And the fact that, they could be doing other things, but they're listening to you. And that connection is why some people will feel like they've known you before they've ever met you. I recently met somebody, online who I talked to on Skype, and, it was like she already knew me because she had been listening to my podcast episodes. So, it's just really, really nice when your audience can hear you, when you're building that bond between your audience and your listeners, because everything in business is based upon relationships, right? So when you're talking and people are hearing your voice, you're really going to develop that bond that is so critical for, building that loyal fan base and that audience that, loves what you do and what you stand for. So it's super critical, and that is one of the main benefits of podcasting, creating that bond and building that credibility. And people can know, like, and trust you so much easier through your, hearing your voice. So the third way to boost your business with a podcast is through leverage. This is one of my favorites because podcasting allows you the ability to easily repurpose your content, and it further helps you get more exposure and more visibility in your market. And you always want to find ways that you can work smarter. And one of the ways to work smarter is to repurpose your content. This is like the coolest thing that I have found from podcasting, is that it's so easy to create audio, and then you can get your audio transcribed, and you can create blog posts out of it, short reports, even full-blown products you can create out of your audio and out of your podcast episode or out of a theme of your podcast. One of the things I'm doing right now is getting all of my episodes converted into Kindle books, and that is going to further solidify my brand, and also it's going to help me get out into another audience, like on Amazon. So there's other people in that arena that I can tap into and pull them into a nice little funnel that's going to drive them through, to my podcast, to what I'm about, and to my business. So you can repurpose your episodes into videos. You can do, short couple, like maybe there was a really great episode that got a lot of attention and went viral. You can take that episode and you can turn it into like 3-step video, or you can turn it into a webinar to teach something, or you could even, if you're daring and bold enough, create your own live events from the content that you create on your podcast. So you can use your podcast as a basis to even get your first book published, or you can use it to get an interview with someone high profile in your industry. So these are just some of the ways that you can leverage your audio files so that you are producing content, in many different ways, in many different forms. And you don't have to recreate the content. You have your audio files that you're just changing over, or you're fixing it for another medium such as video. So that's working smarter and definitely not harder, and that is one of the keys to boosting your business through podcasting. And the fourth way to boost your business through podcasting is opportunities. See, once you get out there and you are networking and people can hear your voice and they see what you're about, opportunities are going to come your way. Since I started podcasting, which I mentioned before, I've picked up new clients. I've been approached to do a couple joint ventures. I've had somebody that's going to interview me. I've talked to some amazing people that I would have never talked to if I didn't break the ice with an interview for my podcast. And I can keep those relationships up by checking in on them and just continue to see what else can come my way. You just don't know what opportunity will come your way. There's sponsorships that people have been approached with. There's book deals that people have done. I mean, if you just do a little research online, you'll find several different people who've had great experiences with opportunities that come their way because they were podcasting. So that, is just the four major benefits, especially for new podcasters, to benefit and boost their business through podcasting. But I also wanted to say that it's super easy and fun to create your own podcast show, and all you have to do is record your voice. So remember, you don't have to get all dialed up. You don't have to find the right space to record. I mean, except you do need a quiet space. You can't have kids running around yelling and hollering. But it's definitely easier to do than it is when you have to set up your recording, your camera just right, the background just right, you just right, all that kind of stuff. I could be in my pajamas right now. No one would know. But you just have to provide excellent content. That's all you have to do with your audio, with your podcast. So plus, by taking it one step further than most people, you will stand out from the crowd. And again, that will spark opportunities to come your way. And once your episodes are up, they're up forever, especially if you host them on your website. And that is content that's out there pulling in new listeners around the clock. And more listeners equals more traffic, and more traffic equals more opportunity for you to create more income, to create more, joint venture deals and things like that. So it all works together to get you, to really boost your business. Now, I hope that you are excited about podcasting as much as I am, and you can really see how it could boost your business. Hopefully you're visualizing how you could start one and use it to boost your business. And even if you don't have a business yet, it's definitely something you can start doing and grow your business around, or grow a part of your business around it anyway. So I would love to help you get yours up and running quickly. So I wanted to introduce you to my new program that I've just released called Podcasting for Business Bootcamp. You're going to learn exactly how to launch and leverage a podcast in your business. This is a 6-module program that will guide you step by step through the whole process of setting up a podcast. By the end of the 6 weeks, you'll have your podcast launched, and you'll be leveraging it to get more exposure than ever before. And I'm going to help you do that through the modules, and I'm going to just kind of cover what you get in each module. So module 1 is all about laying the foundation of your podcast. This is one of the most important steps. Similar to starting up your own business, you're going to want to know who your ideal listener is, what your show topic is going to be about, and how you can really, put it all together and really lay the foundation for success. Then in Module 2, you're going to set it all up. I'm going to show you exactly what tools you need to set it all up, especially if you're on a budget. So we'll go over equipment, hosting, editing, and more. And then in Module 3, you're going to launch your podcast. And this is just the beginning. There's a lot of things to do during this step, but you're going to learn how to launch your podcast successfully with the goal of getting it into New and Noteworthy on iTunes. And so then in Module 4, we're going to talk about monetizing your podcast. And let me just say, podcasting is not a way to make quick cash. It's definitely a long-term strategy. But there are things you can do to monetize your podcast as a beginner, and I'm going to cover those ways to get you started creating revenue from your podcast, whether it's directly or indirectly. And then in Module 5, we're going to talk about promoting your podcast. Once your podcast is launched, that's not it. You have to promote and continuously promote your episodes and your podcast in general so that you can increase your downloads every day and get more people listening to your podcast. So we're going to go over that. And then finally in Module 6, you can't just, set it up and just forget about it. You have to leverage your podcast. And there's many ways that we're going to go over how you can leverage your podcast so that you can work smarter and not harder in your business. And all of these things together will help you really take advantage of podcasting to really boost your business, your exposure, and your credibility. So let me just give you a little recap here. You get 6 modules that are going to take you step by step. Plus, I've created 9 step-by-step videos that will show you how I set my podcast up and how you can just follow the videos, and it'll make it really super easy for you. And then also, I've opened up a private Facebook group so you can ask questions, get feedback, and help each other get on new and noteworthy, on the new and noteworthy section of iTunes, and we'll talk about that more. But really, you're going to want to ask people, how's your cover art looking? Where do you get your music? Even though I show you all these places, how you can get it done, but there's always so much. It's so valuable to get that feedback. So I want people to really help one another, and I'll be in there every day too, helping and guiding and things like that. But you're also going to get lifetime updates, so I'll be sharing. I'm growing my podcast right along with you, and I'm also going to be starting up new podcasts, and I want to share my journey as I learn and grow my podcast. I'm going to share those things that I learn with you as well. So the normal price for this boot camp is $197, but because you took the time to be with me on this call, you get a special deal of just $97. So it's $97, and it'll get you all up and running, and you'll get the support ongoing forever. So head on over to secretstohersuccess.com/45. That's the number 45. So I really hope you'll join me to get your podcast up and running so you can enjoy the benefits of visibility, exposure, and just more overall credibility. Just head on over to secretstohersuccess.com/45. And I hope to see you on the inside. Thanks again for coming out to this call, for listening, for taking the time to be here. And I really hope that you got some value from this call.